How's it going?
Oh boy.
How are you doing? What's our update for this week?
Oh my gosh. So many things.
So many things.
Yeah. This week has been super crappy mentally.
Why?
I don't know why. I've just been feeling on edge. Like, I don't know.
On edge, like the razor's edge?
I don't know. I just feel like ripping somebody's face off.
Whoa.
I feel very edgy.
You've been watching too much of The Stand.
Ooh.
Stephen King's The Stand.
Ooh. Yeah. We're how many episodes are we in now?
We're all caught up. So
six or seven though?
Yeah, I think the next one comes out tonight, actually.
Ooh,
We'll watch it after this.
We've got to.
Mr.
Oh, Tom Cullen.
No.
Please let Tom Cullen be okay.
Spoilers.
That's not a spoiler.
It is a spoiler.
It isn't.
Yes, because that happened in the last episode.
Okay, but that doesn't give anything away.
It does. It gives it all away.
I just hope he's okay.
I mean, if you've read the book, which I hope you have by now, it was written
I've never read it.
in the 70s.
I've never read it. Also, and then tonight, little Miss Fredster falls down, she falls off of her little chair.
Oh, her little plastic IKEA chair. Yeah. I don't think she fell off of it. I think she fell backwards in it and hit her back on the plastic of the back of the chair.
It's so sad. It's so sad because then she gets these little enormous alligator tears and you're just like, oh my God.
And you and I are no stranger to back pain, so we get it.
Yeah.
We know what's up.
And then she doesn't want to move. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'll carry all 53 pounds of you everywhere.
Carry me everywhere.
Oh, poor baby.
But she was twisting around and moving around more than she should have been if she was seriously injured. But she's still
I don't know. It gets
those
me
tears. Though. Yeah. Those big blue eyes and those tears. I can't do it.
Yeah. Because when Liam was 2, almost 3, he fell and broke his arm.
No, he was almost 4.
No.
Yeah.
No. He was about her age. He wasn't her age, but he was almost 3.
I thought he was almost 4.
No, he was almost 3. And then
But we were, okay, maybe.
It's one of those traumatic.
I don't even want to talk about that because I can still see that vividly to this day. It was awful that he fell.
He hit
into our hide-a-bed. His arm went in between the cushions and the thing, and it just
awful.
Green stick fracture. It was really bad.
It was awful.
And then Bryce knocked his tooth out on a real estate sign riding a bicycle.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, that's been 10 years of dental visits.
And Cameron chipped his baby teeth, I guess, when he was little on tile.
I mean, with
'cause of stupid cardboard on the
3
floor.
Boys. They're bound to hurt themselves, right? Or with any kid.
But she's more rambunctious.
She is a tough little
and daredevil than any of them were.
Totally fearless. She doesn't think ahead before she just
and determined too, right? She won't listen to reason. With the boys, you could be like, okay, do you think it's probably safe to be on top of the table right now like that? But with her, it's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You leave me alone, Daddy.
She had the worst attitude earlier, shortly after dinner.
She was mad.
And she said some snotty thing. And I was like, oh no, you were going on a timeout. And she goes, okay. She just really understood that she just should not have talked to me that way.
Well, the other night, didn't she say I want a new daddy? Didn't she say, I want a new daddy? You go away, I want a new daddy.
But 2 minutes before that, she said, I want a new mommy. And just as I was telling you, she just said that she wanted a new mom. And then you're like, you apologize to your mom right now. And she goes, okay, I want a new daddy.
Yeah. She's
Why
tough.
do kids do that?
I don't know, but she's tough. Although it's been 8 years since we had a child her age. So maybe we're just not remembering. Maybe we
we are too old for this shit.
Maybe it was traumatic and we just blocked it out. We're like, that never happened with the boys.
Well, one time Bryce told me that he hated me, but he was little. He's like, I hate you. And then I went, and immediately he's like, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. He's so sad about it, immediately.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, you thought it would be amazing to teach our 3-year-old first child use the flip off finger.
Oh, I didn't teach him that.
Someone.
Matrix. The Matrix did.
Matrix.
The Matrix taught him that.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
All right. But
How about you buy me that toy and I give you the middle finger?
He used it in the middle of the grocery store.
Yeah.
When taking your kid to the grocery store was still a thing.
Yeah, we stopped doing
memories.
That. We stopped taking them with us to the grocery store as soon as we could because that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Our two youngest have not left the house in
since COVID
almost
started.
a year.
Yeah, since COVID started.
Yeah. And the two oldest, 3 times that they've gone out.
And it was for stuff that they had to, like voting.
Yeah. It's crazy. I hope life goes back to a little bit of a normal thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to do like they do in other countries, and I'm just going to wear a mask all the time. Like even once I get vaccinated and COVID's not a thing, I'm still going to wear a face mask.
Well, if that's true, if we're going to wear a face mask, then I want to get like a really cool, like samurai style mask with a giant mustache on it.
You should. No one would mess with you then.
Yeah, that's what I want. And I want it to have like a lot of like marks on it, like it's been seen some days. Seen some days.
Yes.
So I have a bit of a cool update, I guess, since last time. I got like a pseudo promotion at work.
Yes.
I can change my title if I want to, but I don't have to. I'm now a manager.
Yay.
I have a direct report
in the corporate crazy world.
And so that's cool. I'm trying to approach it from like the way that I would want to be treated if all of a sudden I got a new boss out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to be really like considerate, tread lightly, tread softly, asking instead of telling, offering service instead of expecting, X, Y, Z. And I hope over time that she appreciates that approach.
I'm sure she does.
Because I just, I've been there. You have a new boss all of a sudden. Sorry, we didn't tell you anything about it. And new boss for you.
And it would be a really bad feeling if they came in and just started barking orders and stuff.
I've had that happen before. Yeah.
That's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
So
me no likey.
Yeah. So if you can just make the transition lighthearted and like, okay, this is, titles be damned, we're still a team, right?
Yeah. Well, I got really lucky too. She's extremely talented and hardworking and
that's good.
All of those things. I don't think that it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting. I think that she's not continue knocking it out of the park. And
that's good.
This is just an organizational change, right?
Well, at one point in time, you were my assistant manager, so you were a great boss then. So you'll be a good
back then.
You'll be a good manager now.
Yeah, I guess that was a lot of years ago at KFC. I've always just felt like you don't lead by telling, you lead by doing and showing, right? Yeah. Like here's an example of how I'd like you to behave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of like being a parent too. Being a manager is very similar to being a parent, except for that you don't have to raise them. And right.
There's
but it's still
the
a
leadership.
Guidance. Yeah, it's a guidance thing. Right?
It's the leadership skills. Yeah. And you're referencing like our adult children who are pretty, they are very self-sufficient and they have their own way of doing things, and you let them do that. Right. So when they go, hey, what about this? You go, well, maybe, or I agree, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I didn't mean it's like
no, but
children. I mean, it's like, when you get to that age of when they're 22, 19 years old, and they just need to check in every once in a while and
have some support.
They need a little tech support, or they need a little like, hey, can you help me get a hold of this thing, right? Yeah. That kind of management, not like, well, it's time for your nap and your and your juice box, not that kind of thing, right?
That's a terrible one. Yeah. But yeah, I used to, when I was in track, I had this track coach. He would just scream and yell from the side. I'm like, why don't you run with us? If you think you're the best, Yeah. If you think that you know how to do this better than I do, get out here and do it too.
Yeah, I don't I don't react well to that kind of coaching, right?
Yeah.
Like yelling or like that does nothing to encourage me to try harder, right? That just makes me go, fuck you. Right. And it's the same thing like with a manager like constantly like berating you or micromanaging you.
Yeah.
That just makes me despise you. It doesn't make me want to work harder for you. Right.
Yeah.
And you know, different people need different things. That's a similar to being a parent as well, right? Your kids aren't all identical carbon copies of each other. They each need different things from you. So different employees need different things, right? Anyways, I thought it was kind of a cool update to my job.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, and I'm working on the 20th anniversary edition of Lehu.com, which has been around since February 2001.
Long time ago.
Yeah. So I'm creating version 67, which tells you that I've done more than one version a year.
Yes.
And it's going to be the 20th anniversary, and it's probably the best design I've ever done. Not to hype it too much, but I'm completely over the moon with it. I love it. It's kind of like the best of everything I've ever done on Lehu, and it's like an homage at the same time.
And it's where you keep all of your like portfolio and
it's where I keep my writing and my drawings and like just, you know, general information about me. Yeah.
Personal projects and stuff.
Yo-yo collections, shit like that.
Yeah. That I've done pictures for.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking about bringing the commune back, which is an old school part of Lehu that was like a community. Probably the best part of Lehu that ever existed, other than maybe the skateboard version.
I don't remember the skateboard version.
It was well. I think it lasted about 6 months, but that 6 months I was way into skateboards.
Yeah, I know Liam used to do like little tricks and stuff in the living room.
Yeah,
not out in the, not out on anything dangerously.
Well, the story behind that version is that I realized that in Photoshop I could create photorealistic or close to photorealistic looking things, and so I tried to make a skateboard, and I did it, and it looked pretty good, and so then I put the Lehu logo at the time on it, which was this weird like abstract shape with tentacles or something. The tentacles have always been there. I just attached them to an octopus sometime around version 50.
Or a septopus.
It's technically a septopus because the original one I drew only had 7 legs and I didn't notice. And my friend Josh Miller is like, "Did you know that only has 7 legs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, septopus. What are you talking about?" Like that quick.
Yes.
And then that's just that. The rest is history. But I'd drawn in Photoshop this skateboard, and I put it up, and it was like version 31 or something. I can't remember the exact version. It was 31, coming soon. And then I was so enamored with the work I'd done on that skateboard, I just made the whole rest of the site skateboard themed. And I told everybody it's going to be a skateboard business from now on. It's not a blog anymore. It's a skateboarding business. And I did like this rotating banner of different graphics and they were all skateboard related. And then I told the community, I was like, "Hey, you can give me a skateboard graphic and I'll put it up there." And it was Lehu skateboards for a while.
Nice. I
Didn't go anywhere. I've always kind of wanted to have kind of like a side hustle, commission based, custom painted skateboards where I get just the board and then I just paint whatever I want on it.
Yeah.
Like you pay me like $60 bucks, $100, but you don't get to decide what's on it.
Oh yeah.
I just paint you whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I always thought that would be kind of cool. But anyways, Lehu 67, it'll be out February 6th if this weekend goes well. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope other people get excited about it when they see it because I think it's going to bring back memories for.
Yeah, we all like it in the house.
Yeah. So that's that. So now we're going to go into our quote of the week.
Yay.
Should we do a jingle for it?
Do it.
Okay. Let's do a jingle for quote of the week, everybody. I'm going to play the following song for quote of the week. I'm not actually going to play it. It's just the little keyboard's going to play it. Here we go. It's the quote of the week.
Yay. You did it.
Yeah, that was awful. Okay.
What's the quote?
The quote of the week comes from one Mr. Kurt Vonnegut. Be soft. Do not let the world make you hard. Do not let the pain make you hate. Do not let the bitterness steal your sweetness. Take pride that even though the rest of the world may disagree, you still believe it to be a beautiful place.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Like, I don't know if he's like the best writer in the world. I don't think that's true, right? But every single time I read something from Kurt Vonnegut, his books, a short story, a quote, I always am left thinking, right? And it's just, I have a lot of quotes on Lehu that randomly pop up at in the footer, and like 6 of them are Kurt Vonnegut quotes because they just, every single time I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Ava Brothers for me, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times their songs just hit me and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No way. Life-changing. And that's the same thing with his quotes. But this one's so good because it's just basically saying, hey, the world's throwing shit at you, but don't let that change who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
I like it. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Of all time or just from Kurt Vonnegut?
Of all time. Of all time.
Of all time?
Yep.
So I was thinking about this. I think I talked to you about this on a walk a little bit. This is a kind of a tangent, and I apologize. And then we'll get into the thing of the week. And this isn't a fully formed thought either. So, let me preface with, if I sound idiotic because somebody else already thought through this and got rid of it. But if you travel back in time is relative to you, right? So if you're in the present and you go, I'm going to travel backwards in time. If you're traveling in time, you're not aging, right? Because you're you, right? You're traveling through time travel, right? So when you get to that point, whatever point it is, let's say you go back 10 years. Well, now
that is your present.
It is now your present, and where you came from is the future, right? But how do we know you wouldn't lose all of your memory of that?
Of the last 10 years?
Of the 10 years that you travel backwards, right? The 10 years you've already lived. How do we know you wouldn't just immediately, because of the context of your point in time, where now you never left your presence, right? Yeah. You never left your present, right? You didn't move. Time moved. Yeah. Anyways, I've been thinking about that a lot because.
What have you been doing up here?
Well, no, I've been thinking about that a lot because what if you went backwards in time,
right,
and forgot all of the. So you don't even know you did it.
That would suck.
You're like, oh, I guess it's February 2011. Huh. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I got to go to Barnes and Noble. Right?
Whoa.
And then you're just stuck. You can't go back.
What if that's what happens when you walk into a room and you go, what did I come in here for? I came in here for something.
Yeah.
Or what was I saying?
Where are my keys?
Maybe that's why your keys are never where they should be.
Right. No, but isn't that a scary prospect?
That is very scary.
Look, time travel exists, but everybody who goes through the time travel doesn't remember it. So they get stuck wherever they are.
So they just, oh my God. Okay, so there's a stupid show that I hate very much that Cameron used to watch all the time. It's called Brain Games, and it's how your brain will lie to you. Yeah. It will deceive you.
That's what I'm talking about.
It will bend to whatever you want it to.
Right.
No. You know what's really scary is losing your mind.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then having it lie to you.
Right.
And then now you're time traveling and you don't even know it.
Right.
How do we even know we're having this conversation?
But that's what I'm saying, though.
No. Stop
Your brain
adapts. Quit it.
It's a supercomputer and it adapts immediately to whatever your situation is. Think about all of the times that, like, this isn't news to anybody, but I was molested as a child, right? But for a lot of years, I suppressed that memory until after Liam was born. And then I remembered, and it was like cracking open my head in a way.
Because
all this stuff started spilling out, right? But even to this day, I'm like, did that really happen to me? You know what I mean? Like I still question like what's the truth, right? And it's probably it's something close, but it's probably not exactly how I remember it, right? So when you travel backwards in time, your brain, it's confusing your brain, and your brain doesn't want to be confused.
So it just like...
So it fixes it for you.
It just reboots.
Yeah. And then you're stuck.
Okay. Okay.
It's a one-way mission.
Sweet.
It's a one-way fucking mission.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Now it is time.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
I don't know. It might be completely asinine.
Oh my God.
And I do sound like I've been eating pot brownies.
And why are you sharing? And I'm not drunk enough for this conversation. Gosh darn it.
Stop hitting the table all the time.
I can't help it. You just make me have a fist every once in a while.
This is why you punch me in the arm so much?
Yes, because
Because I make you ball your fists? Good.
I just gotta release that tension now. What? Man. Stop it.
What's that?
Stop putting that shit in my head.
Oh, is it messing with your head now?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
No wonder I have to make so many lists. I'm just time traveling all over the place. That's what's happening.
You're just taking short jumps. Like,
I wake up with more gray hair than I did the night before. If I time travel
back 15 minutes, I'll have time to put on a bra. And then you get there and you're like, what am I doing in the closet? Son of a bitch.
I forget shit all the time. But I always chalked it up to mom brain, you know?
Yeah. Whenever I forget something, I go, 46, man. 46 really wearing down on a brother.
I always go, I got 4 kids. They sucked the life out of me.
I will say though, since
I'm just time traveling.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
You probably are. I will say though that since we changed my diet where I'm eating like a majority of my food intake is whole vegetables and good for you stuff. I don't have as much brain fog.
Yeah.
And I have like consistent energy throughout the day, and I feel better throughout the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't have as much like, what's happening? What's happening in your brain, Burby?
All right. This has
gone way off base. Let's bring it back into focus with the thing of the week.
What?
I was trying something new.
Stop it.
The thing of the week. I don't know. Oh, we'll get another one of these.
No, please don't. Don't do it again.
All right. What is the thing of the week? You're bringing this topic to the table this week.
Okay. I don't know about you, but
we had a conversation before the podcast, so you do know about it.
Okay. So I have recently got a TikTok. I have not put up any videos yet, but I'm scrolling, right? And there's
You're joy scrolling.
Huh?
You're joy scrolling.
Yeah. So I saw this thing about this comedian, and then the ladies in the videos are lip syncing this comedian, right?
Right.
The original sound or whatever it's called.
That's your average TikTok video. Lip syncing somebody else's sound.
Yeah. So
I've even done it to our own son.
Yes, you did. Where it was talking about like what ladies would want in a partner, right? And so when I was a kid, they would talk. Other girls would talk about a husband wish list.
Right.
Okay. And
wait, they called it that, a husband wish list?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And where they would put dark hair, tall. Right. They and it would get down to like very detailed things.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
Yeah.
All the way down to like
little kids thinking about that?
No. But it would get down to like, you know, how they would dress and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, you know, there was only like a couple of things on my wish list when I was little, like 3rd grade or something, where I wanted them to like animals.
Right.
And I wanted them to be funny.
Right. That was your whole list?
Yes.
You're like, hey, buddy, you check both my boxes. you like animals, and you're funny. So you and me,
okay,
forever.
But I thought boys were gross.
Oh, you've long determined that the boys are gross.
I wanted to maybe hold a boy's hand,
Right.
but other than that, I didn't want to. I thought, oh, boys are gross, right?
So did you? It is just as a divergent tangent. Did you think that girls were gross too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
I thought girls were the worst, and I thought boys were gross.
You just didn't like anybody.
I just didn't like, and now I know what that is about.
Right.
But at the time, I was just like, oh, I don't like anybody here. What's his problem?
But I hate it here.
I would overhear girls talk about their husband wish list,
Right.
and like they would be like thinking about what they would wear in their wedding,
So see,
like colors and all that stuff, and I just didn't think those things.
But I've heard of that before, like the wedding, like thinking about your wedding day and stuff. But I've never heard of like having a wish list for your future partner.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess I had like things I wanted out of a relationship, I guess. Is that the same?
But guys don't talk about that?
Well, no, because guys are gross.
I told you.
We talk about stupid stuff.
Okay,
like,
and then
I gotta get a girl with a big juicy dump truck.
Ew.
You know what I'm talking about, guys? This is the locker room after all. Right?
So I guess it is just kind of like a girl thing.
Well, I think that's probably why I haven't had a lot of guy friends throughout my life, because
they're just gross.
I can be perverted because my sense of humor is like shit and fart jokes. But I don't like talking about women that way, right? Or like talking about other men that way or anything, right? I don't like talking about non-binary people like that. I don't want to objectify people.
Yeah, right.
And that's really what dudes like doing, right? It's just kind of second nature. So I haven't had a lot of, dude friends scattered throughout my life, right? I usually have like one bro that, like that's my friend. But then every other guy is like, does he have to even beer?
Does he even have to be here?
I don't think I want Buster hanging out with us anymore.
Buster.
Right? Like it's just, I don't like the way he talks. That whole thing. I'm just not. I've always gravitated towards friendships with women, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Even when I was really young,
so
most of my friends were girls.
Okay, so did they talk about husband wish list? I feel like I'm losing my mind.
No, because I was still, I'm still a guy, so they're not going to do that chit chatty stuff with me.
Okay. Well, it just sparked this thought train I was on for a minute.
Right.
Did
you jump off of it, or did it come to a complete stop before you carefully got off?
It slowed down.
It slowed way down.
But now I feel like maybe I didn't ride the train at all because now I feel weird. Anyways, so what you think about when you're young about what you want in a partner, because a lot of kids grow up thinking, well, one day when I get married, this will happen or this will. But it's separate for me because I didn't really have those like wants to because I saw tumultuous situations happening and I just didn't want to be a part of that.
Well, I knew that I wanted to have kids. Does that count?
Yes.
Towards it?
Yes.
Like I've known since I was very young that I wanted to be a dad. But I didn't go, and so then my wife has to be sturdy, and right, like I didn't have like a list of things, right?
You don't know how to do this list at all. Never mind.
I didn't have a list of things that like you had to fall within to like, I don't know. I didn't really think about it that way.
I don't know.
I was just like, please pick me, Julia, pick me. Right? Like
Okay, hang on, my cheeks hurt. Okay. So I talked to Bryce about I talked to Liam about this, and he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "Never mind." And I talked to Bryce about it, and Bryce goes, "Well, maybe it's called a boyfriend or girlfriend application requirement." And I went, what? And he said, yeah, so girls and guys, they'll talk about the application for a boyfriend job or for a girlfriend requirement.
You know, that's weird because in some ways it kind of is not a job because that sounds like
no, but it
work.
is an important position.
Yeah, you have to work at making it work.
So what I'm thinking is that you should make these lists, right? You should know, you should kind of think about at least what you do want in someone who's going to be a partner.
Right, but isn't it just too late for us?
Okay, so that's, hang on. That's later on down the line here.
Oh.
But, okay, so I can't really speak for you and me because, you know, situations happen. But knowing that those lists do exist, I'm not crazy.
No, I believe you. I've heard of it before.
Okay.
I just have never firsthand heard someone say their list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I knew a girl who had like pages and pages and pages of specific items.
Pages?
Pages.
Like a journal? Like how big was the writing? Because I'm thinking this might be
She had over
psycho.
like 100 things that this person had to be
100 things?
or requirements or whatever, a checklist.
I don't want to tell anybody to like aim lower, but 100 things that somebody has to like fulfill.
Okay, so that's what
Feels like
that's
to
what
me,
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think when you get to that level of
But shouldn't
detail,
Shouldn't you?
maybe, but then you're kind of like, it's almost like you're self-sabotaging. Like you're not going to find that person who fits all 100 things.
Right.
You got to have there has to be some compromise. Like, right. You know, like you didn't think you were going to marry a guy who would go gray at 26.
It's not about that.
What if you were like, I would like him to be redheaded till he's 50. And then we get married and at 26 that hair starts going gray and you're like, And you got a little fedora hat and a couple of bags and you're like, I'll be at my mother's.
No. But I have to think about these things because now we have a little girl who's gonna get older, and I want to encourage her and our boys. I want to encourage them to have not requirements, but have something that they want to look for in a partner. Like
not physicalities, but like personalities.
Exactly. Not so much physicalities, but like, you know, are they nice? Right. And Liam has told me since he was little, it's like, if my wife doesn't like you, then I don't like her. And, you know,
why'd they get married then?
He was very sad that he wouldn't be able to marry me, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was just very sweet about it.
And he was like, kids are really
he's
attached.
like, my wife has to like you. And he still feels that way.
Yeah.
So not so much requirements, but now you and I are almost going to be at 25 years one of these months in October. 25 years, right? So I thought that, you know, if you can make a list, but maybe make it more realistic and more like thoughtful, not so much appearance or has to have this amount of money or, you know, because it's not about the wedding day or what they can give you, right?
Yeah, I'd be worried if that was on your list, has to have this amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like some money. I like money. I have some money. I have it in a jar above my refrigerator. I'd like to put more money in there.
Would you stop?
But
that's
I don't
not
think that
where
should
you
be,
come in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think that should be like part of your goals for a partner.
No. So I made a new list.
A better goal though, like along those lines would be like somebody who's, you know, financially responsible. Okay, yes. Right? You wouldn't want somebody who's like, we don't have very much money, but I spent it all on socks. Yeah. Right? You'd want somebody
like, yeah, exactly.
who's like-minded.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I made a new list. I made a realistic list.
Okay.
Hardworking, which you are. You always have been.
Right, but did you just make a list of my traits?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I thought about, okay, what I want our kids, the list that I would want them to put, you know, items on.
I get you.
So hardworking, good with kids, and, you know, good with animals, likes animals, and is nice to animals, you know?
I think I'm pretty kind to animals.
You are. You are. Even our new puppy, Saoirse,
I hate that dog.
You just said. I
can be nice to her and hate her.
She has some quirks where she doesn't really like being touched on her face and on the top of her head very much.
Yeah, and I'm so tall, that's where you're getting pet, because I am not going to get down on my knees to pet you.
She still
shies
away, and you know, she doesn't completely trust us just yet.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart.
But
though.
she is sweet, and she cuddles and stuff. So funny, obviously, because you got to laugh through things, right?
I do not know a single funny person.
Good listener.
What?
Okay, you're going to just do the opposite. I see what's happening now. Patient and kind. I think those need to be, that's a realistic thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good list. I don't know that I fit kind.
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I'd throw you off the boat.
Oh, no, you would not.
I'd be like, there's not enough room on the door for both of us, Rose.
What I'm saying is...
I know what you're saying.
Make a list.
I have a list, and you fulfill it, so...
Okay, good. Make a list, check it, and it's okay if young people want to be together and get married and whatever. Just make sure that
you weren't telling me to make a list.
No, I'm telling our listener...
To make a list and think about it, yeah.
Our 4 listeners, to make a list, think about it, make it realistic, and you know, 25 years in, the money's not going to matter all that much. The house isn't going to matter all that much. The cars, if you know, can laugh, if you can be listened to, if you can be heard, you know, if they work hard no matter what they're doing, you know, and if they're good to things and people that can't do anything for them, like those are good. Those are better things than has to be rich, you know, dumb things.
Yeah, has to have a 6-pack of super bronzy abs.
Right.
Those things are all things
always wears makeup, or you know what I mean? Those things doesn't matter.
This is what I'm going to say about long-term relationship, right? Like I think sex is a component to a relationship, right? Like it has to be. Otherwise, why are you being together at first, right? Mm. So there has to be some attraction there. Otherwise, you're just friends, right? If you're not in a intimate relationship. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that is sustainable for 25, 50 years, right? There has to come a point where even if you're not revved up by that person anymore, that they still do it for you in another way.
Right. There are different forms, and there are several different forms of intimacy, right?
Right.
Just spending 20 some years with somebody.
Well, this exercise here, this podcast is an exercise in intimacy, right?
Being able to communicate.
Yeah. Our walks are an exercise in intimacy. I'm just saying like the looks, you know, and the hotness and the 6-pack, that shit all goes away, right? Unless you make a concentrated, vain effort to continue that throughout your entirety of your life, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, some people like have 6-packs till they die because they're just mutants or whatever.
They're mean.
You know, but most people just age, right? Yeah. And they don't look like they looked when you met them anymore, right? So there has to be more to that relationship. There has to be something more in the center than just, you know, getting crazy with each other, right? Yeah. Like even if it's, you know, you both like bungee jumping, right? And you hold hands when you're doing it or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, you're going to have to find other ways for longevity to happen.
Yeah.
I think for me, the most important thing is kindness, because I've had a lot of relationships, not just boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, relationships in my life, but just relationships in general.
With people.
Yeah. That the other person wasn't very kind. They treated me cruelly or mean, or teased me in some way. And so, you know, if you're kind to me, that goes a a long way.
Yeah.
Right? To getting me to hang around. I got super lucky. I mean, you're gorgeous, and you're 42 and you're still amazing looking. I think you might even be better looking than you were when I met you. But it doesn't matter, right? Like, because at this point, I'm so head over heels in love with you because of the other qualities you possess, and watching you grow as a human being over the last 25 years, and watching how good you are with our kids. I mean, we both lose our tops sometimes. Everybody does. We've got fucking 4 kids. But majority of the time, you're like a really attentive, excellent mother, right?
Thank you.
And watching you do that is just really impressive. And I'm just really in love with you. And I'm more in love with you now than I was when I met you. And I was super in love with you that first day. I was like,
that first day.
I was like, what's up, bro? Because I'm from California, right? I'm just living out here in Arizona for a little bit of a time of a while where I'm just doing a little KFCing with you. I'm going to be your assistant manager. Oh, I'll open my eyes. You're beautiful. I feel like I just opened my eyes for the first time, girl.
Gotta get your eyes checked, man.
So it's, yeah, I just like being around you.
Oh, ditto.
Right? I know that because, like, I'm a little crabby cancer boy. I can be a little clingy sometimes.
Yeah.
And I know that for you as a Sagittarius adventurer, that's not great. But I can't help it. Like, I just want to, like, hold your hand, or like just.
You still chase me around the kitchen.
I just want to high five you, or,
We high five a lot.
pinch your caboose.
You chase me around the kitchen.
I don't.
You
chase
make
you around
me
the
laugh.
kitchen. You punch me in the arm, and then you torture me with arm punches.
Oh, sure.
Constant arm punches.
Sure.
Help me.
Tell it on the mountain.
I am gonna tell it on the mountain. I've got 10 commandments.
Is that one of your commandment tablets breaking?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Right?
I do. I know what you mean. And I think that it's a really smart thing to take stock of.
Like, and it doesn't.
And also think, and this is not going to be like a super popular opinion, but
Let's hear it.
I kind of think that if you take stock of that, every 5-10 years, and you find that relationship isn't working for you anymore, it's okay to not be in it anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't think you have to hang on to something just because of longevity.
Yeah.
Right? Or just because of some promise you made, you were both drunk or something. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I think it's okay to say, this isn't working for us anymore.
Or
we need to either figure out how to make it work again.
Yeah.
Or we need to explore what it's like to not be together. And right. I think we should have less shame
yes.
in society for, society puts us, and I think this is a Judeo-Christian ideal, right? Like, they put a lot of emphasis on
till death.
Yeah. Get married and don't get a divorce, or else you failed.
Yeah. That's silly.
But I think it's okay. Like, if you look and go, this isn't it anymore. Mm. Right? I don't think I'm ever going to get there with you.
Okay. Phew.
Oh, like, is that where you thought I was going?
Where are you going?
I saw the worry in your eyes. No,
but it's okay to reassess. And I'm learning this now at 42, that it's okay to set boundaries. Like, even now, I'm 42 years old. I don't know what I knew at 22. I have no idea.
Right.
And I was raised where I wasn't allowed to have that. I wasn't allowed to have boundaries.
Right.
So it's okay to, even personally, like, not in a relationship necessarily, but even personally, to set new boundaries if you need to.
It's okay to do in a relationship.
Well, you can set new boundaries. No, I mean that as well. But I'm saying, even personally, you can do this.
Oh, just,
Every day you can set a new boundary for yourself. It's not over till it's over.
But you also have to be, if there's other people involved in your new boundary, you have to be patient with them adjusting to that new boundary.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are going to be assholes no matter what.
Right.
But if somebody's legitimately, like, I think that there's all kinds of situations where you say, hey, like, I'm changing my name. And so then, but it'll take people a while to stop calling me the other name, right?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of a thing. So or even just like, you don't give good neck rubs. I don't want you to do this anymore. Right?
I love you, but you're very strong, and like the neck rubs are too much.
You're too rough with the neck rubs. Can we maybe foot rubs? Maybe a foot rub helps. Your strength in your hands for your foot rub might be better.
Yeah. I think if you have the communication open, and you can start at any point in a relationship, if you open that communication, and it's very difficult for me specifically, I'll speak for myself. It's very difficult to trust anyone else, even the people that I made. It's difficult for me. I have to try hard to let people in and see the real me.
Right? That's trauma.
Right. Because
you couldn't trust the people who made you.
So I don't know what that's supposed to look like. So I have to define that for myself.
Right. I have a hard time trusting partners because, my former partner was like,
mistreated that trust.
Mistreated that trust.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
When you're
I was
hurt,
gonna say with running all over.
I said it nicely.
Yeah.
When you're hurt, you protect yourself. And you build a wall, and that is perfectly fine to do. Just be careful and be smart and understanding that there are people on the other side of that wall that can still love you and do still love you.
Yeah, might want to have like a door built.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That you can keep closed as long as you want and then open it when you're ready.
But you have to communicate that.
Yeah.
And that's not always a very easy thing to do, especially for me.
Okay, that's something I want to say, right? People who are in a relationship with people who build walls. Don't try to break the walls down. Just try to help them build a door.
Or just stand on your tippy toes and peek over and say,
peek over till they're ready to build the door.
I'm right here.
I don't want to, because that's going to hurt my calves. I don't want to peek forever.
You're tall. You can handle it.
Yeah. Are you saying it's a short wall?
It's as short as I am, and you're taller than me.
I just think we talk about like, let's break down these barriers. Well, maybe we don't need to. Maybe we just need to
meet each other. Those barriers because they're there for a reason, not because we want them to be there. Yeah. I don't want them to be there. I would much rather be a happy-go-lucky person who trusts everyone.
Right, but you're the one who has to dismantle that wall.
Of course.
Somebody else can't do that for you.
I know.
Right?
But I'm just saying, in my upset stages, I build those walls and I can't.
Well, I'll be over on the other side waiting.
I know. I let you in sometimes, but other times I go, go away. Not because I want to, but because I have to. I feel like I have to.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, stupid.
Get out of here. I'm trying to have some alone time on my wall.
A metaphoric circus here, but at the same time, I mean what I say.
I know you do. You always have. You've always been a real honest person. I trust in.
It's a very fine line between.
Like I know for a fact that you would never do to me what my former partner did to me, but I'm still wounded from that.
Yeah.
So deep in my lizard brain, I know you wouldn't do it, but then in my subconscious, my dreams are like, she's doing it, man. She's doing it right now. Look over there. Look over there. She's doing it right now.
Okay, but that's, that is the kicker, right?
Right.
You're going to have those little whispers of,
I hate it because I wake up and then I'm mad at you and I'm like, why are you cheating on me? You cheated on me in my dreams.
Oh, no.
And you cheated on me in my dreams. I'm not talking to you today at all.
The heck?
That's what happens.
I know. I know.
I wake up angry. I'm like, huh? Why?
And I go,
those dreams are for me.
I go, good morning. And you just go, I bet it is.
Yeah.
You keep
walking. You had a great night, didn't you?
It's so awful.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot.
But if you can laugh, try to love as much as possible.
I say, live, laugh, love.
Okay. No. This is not that.
Oh, okay. That's a TikTok I got to show you.
I'm trying to be realistic here.
Yeah. It's a TikTok I got to show you. Anyways.
Okay.
I love you.
But I love you way more.
That is not possible.
It's totally possible.
The Lou and Me podcast is a Matthias Source production. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers. Produced and edited by Moose. Hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.